What's going on, guys? Welcome. Yuri came here, and this is our weekly edition of the Ask Yuri show. So, as always, let's start with a cool intro. Trouble losing weight? Need more energy? Want to improve your health? You got a fitness or nutrition question? I probably have an answer for you. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm back. And this week, I've got a bigger jar of apple cider vinegar and water. Hopefully I've inspired you guys to drink more water and more of it with some apple cider vinegar because it's awesome. All right, so I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today is a rainy Wednesday in Toronto, but I'm excited though because tonight I'm going to the Toronto FC game, which is the soccer team in Toronto, the big MLS team. They're in the conference finals, the second leg against the Montreal Impact. It's going to be pouring rain, but apparently there's not much you can do about that, right? Other than bring an umbrella, perhaps. Okay, so here we are. We're talking about your health, fitness, or nutrition questions. And I've got a really special announcement, which I'm going to share with you in just a second, so don't go anywhere. Seriously, you're not going to want to miss it. It's awesomeness. I was pretty pumped when it happened. Actually, yeah, it came yesterday, so I'm going to share something with you guys in just a moment, so stick around. I want to welcome you guys. Let me know in the chat where you're from. Type it in. Type it on the keyboard into the chat. Let me know where you're joining me in from. And if you've got a question, health, fitness, or nutrition related, ask away. I'll do my very best to answer it. If I can't answer it, then I'll let you know. I'll be very honest with you. But most of the time, I do my best to answer your stuff because that's what I'm here to do. Okay, so I'll just refresh my feed here to make sure I've got no questions that I'm missing. And as I've mentioned before, sometimes the feed is a little bit weird on Facebook. It doesn't show the comments live. So we got Nikki from Greetings, wherever that is. Awesome. Welcome. Valeria from Ensenada, Mexico. Wang Zin, hopefully I pronounced that right, from Malaysia. Well, it's amazing how many international people are on these live hangouts. It's crazy. I guess it's the time. Everyone else in North America is at work, apparently. But anyways. So yeah, so if you got a question, let me know in the chat. I'm going to start off with some good news here. So yesterday, I was at home doing some stuff. FedEx knocks on my door. FedEx guy comes with this box to my front door. And I'm like, oh, cool. I think I know what this is. Sign off, get the box, open it up inside. And here's what I received. Yes. My brand new cookbook is in my hands. It's called, as you can see, if I can, the All Day Fat Burning Cookbook. Yuri came. That's me. That's me. Right? There I am. I've got eyebrows in that picture, but here I don't. So anyways, this is an awesome cookbook. Every single recipe I created by myself, which is something I wish I could say for a lot of other cookbooks in this space. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of cookbooks are actually not even written by the authors, which is pretty shady. So anyways, I spent 3 months writing all the recipes, creating all the recipes for this, test them all at home, put my kids through the ringer. That's why I dedicated this book to, you can see it there, to my wife Amy and our 3 boys, Oscar, Luca, and Arlo, who are always my best food critics. And there's also a special mention for you guys and a special thanks to the thousands of men and women all around the world who've been enjoying my simple and delicious fat-burning meals for years. So perhaps you are one of them. So what makes this cookbook special? Well, not only is it awesome, beautiful cover, both sides, 125 fat-burning meals that are going to turbocharge your metabolism. They all take less than 15 to 20 minutes to make. They're low in sugar, high in nutrient value, and they taste amazing. I'm going to just show you guys want to see some of the pictures. And what I'll do for you guys is I'm going to post the link. Thank you very much, Brina. So the cookbook actually releases in stores on December 20th, but I actually posted the links where you can, the link to Amazon where you can pre-order it now if you like. I'm not doing a huge crazy launch with this cookbook. I'm basically just saying, hey, here's the cookbook, get it. It's awesome. If you've read the previous All Day Fat Burning Diet book, this is the first Ask Yuri Live where I've actually had this book handy. So here you go. If you've read this one, this is the follow-up cookbook. Okay, this gives you more recipes, 125 more recipes that coincide with the 5-day food cycling formula that I outlined and introduced in the all-day fat-burning diet. So I'm going to show you some of these pictures. These are absolutely amazing. So we got coconut cream and berries. This is an awesome breakfast. Fried eggs and asparagus wrapped prosciutto, or prosciutto wrapped asparagus. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy gourmet meals that help you burn fat. Okay, like it's very rare. Homemade chocolate granola. This is like our staple cereal in our house. This smoothie, the sunrise smoothie right here, I actually made this for our kids this morning. They loved it. It was so cool. We've got herb smoked salmon and potato hash. So there's obviously vegan recipes in here. There are obviously meat-itarian recipes in here. But one thing they all have in common is that they're founded on real fresh foods, which give your body the nutrients to support your metabolism to actually, do what it's supposed to do. I'm going to show you, this is what we had for dinner last night. I was actually going to shoot a video for you guys. I was going to do a live hangout last night to shoot this video of this recipe of this soup because it takes no time at all to make. But then I got called in by my mom for 2 hours to help her move some stuff because she's moving out of her condo to a new house. So I got called in to do that, and I was like, it's too late to shoot this video and make the soup. So Amy made the soup. I ate it when I got home, but I'll do another video for you guys with some of these recipes. So, you guys want to see some of the desserts? Well, stick around. I'll show you some of those desserts in a moment. Anyways, let's get to your questions. Enough about the cookbook. You know the link. Go get it. It's awesome. All right. So let me refresh the feed. And let's see what we got here. Come on, Facebook. Alexandros, what's up from Greece? Ella, ella. I played with a lot of Greek soccer players when I was young, so that's pretty much all I know. Okay, Zach Jones, how much and when do you take apple cider vinegar, before, during, or after eating? It's so funny how I get the same specific question all the time. So you probably, I have no idea honestly how much is in here. I just free pour. It's probably about an ounce, 2 ounces of apple cider vinegar. This is 1 liter of water. So I don't really measure it. I gauge it by darkness. The darker it is, the more apple cider vinegar there is in it. Drink it throughout the day on an empty stomach. Have it before your meals if you want to add more kind of hydrochloric acid benefits to your stomach to help digest food. And you can also sip on it during your meals if you need something to liquefy what you're eating, because it's actually a really nice digestive aid as well. Heidi from Hawaii, what's up? We got the whole world here. We got Greece, Hawaii. That's got to be 20 different time zones almost. It's maybe not 20, but close to, maybe, perhaps. Yes. All right. So that's the apple cider vinegar. All right. So let me pull up the Ask Yuri document. I'm going to just randomly, sift through, pull up a random question here, and let's see what we land on. It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this one's from Michelle. What are the benefits of adding cinnamon to carbohydrates? Is it good? Actually, it's a very good question, Michelle, and it's very similar to the benefits of apple cider vinegar. Cinnamon, actually, as well as apple cider vinegar, lowers the blood sugar response of any kind of food you're eating. So if you're having donuts, bagels, muffins, those refined carbohydrates, adding cinnamon to them is going to reduce their impact on your blood sugar. Now, I'm not saying you should just add a ton of cinnamon and have a donut, but that's kind of what cinnamon does. So that's one of the benefits. There's also probably some other really cool benefits that I can't think of right now, but that's one of the big ones. Alexandros, some tips for waking up early with energy. Okay, so this would be the book to read. I know this is like a self-promotion show, seems like. Anyways, read this book. It's awesome. The All Day Energy Diet. But essentially, one of the best things you can do is go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. It's Monday through Sunday. Okay. What that's going to do is that's going to reestablish a healthy circadian rhythm, which is your internal clock, to the point where your body just knows when to wake up naturally without having to rely on an alarm clock or being, jolted out of bed. Yeah, Zach, thank you very much. I look forward to getting the cookbook into your hands as well. I appreciate you doing that. So that's one of the best things you can do for waking up with more energy, is going to bed and waking up at the same time. The earlier you go to bed, the better. So here's the thing. When you go to bed, the earlier part of the evening is where you're going to spend more of your time in deep sleep. This is where your body's rejuvenating and repairing itself. So let's say you get 7 hours of sleep. 7 to 9 is the recommended dose. But if you get 7 hours from 1 in the morning till 8 in the morning, that's very different than 10 at night until 5 in the morning. The reason for that is because after about 11, so we spend more of our time in deep sleep at around that 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock time zone, or that time frame. So if you're going to bed really late, then you're missing out on a lot of the deep sleep. You're going to be sleeping, but a lot of that sleep is going to be spent in REM, which is very light sleep. That's where you dream a lot. And that's usually towards the tail end of the sleep cycle when you typically wake up. So we want to be spending more of our time in deep sleep, and that happens earlier in the night. So you want to be getting to bed, let's say 10 to 11 o'clock, and then 7 to 9 hours after that on a consistent basis is when you want to wake up. Cool? So that's a really simple tip. Obviously, the foods you eat, this stuff like that makes a big difference as well, but I just wanted to give you something different that maybe you haven't heard before. Maybe you have, I'm not too sure. Okay, Zach, how did I get into this field? Are you a dietitian or do you speak from data or personal experience? So my background is in kinesiology. I went to the University of Toronto, did my degree there. Then I played professional soccer for a number of years. So I have that experience. Then I came back to the University of Toronto and worked as a strength and conditioning and nutrition coach there for 7 years. So I have a lot of hands, kind of like, on hands experience with high level athletes, both from an athletic and nutrition perspective. During all that time, I was a personal trainer and a nutritionist dealing with hundreds of clients on a regular basis. Then I went back to school to study holistic nutrition and got my accreditation in that. So I have a very interesting and wide range of experiences and education that very few other people, no other experts that I'm aware of have that same kind of combination of professional athlete plus education plus real world experience that I do. So that's pretty much my background. All the stuff that I do, for instance, on my blog, is to simplify your life, right? To make healthy and fit simple and obviously delicious again. But everything we do is to simplify things, but backing everything with science where applicable. With that said, I say where applicable because not everything that science has shown us is all there is. There's a lot of other things that are happening in this universe right now that we can't explain scientifically. That doesn't mean that it's not happening. So I'm very open to that fact that even though there's no scientific studies supporting something, if it works, it works. And the science eventually will catch up to prove that. So anyways, Ahmed, can you send some recipes for pre and post workout shake? Yeah, go to my blog and just type in pre and post workout. So I'll just make this easier for you if you want. I will give you a couple examples here. Just give me a second. My computer's a little bit sluggish. Okay, so Ahmed, read this. That's more of a, anyways, go through that. On that specific post, there are links to pre and post workout recipe ideas, okay? Shirley, does kombucha actually help with weight loss? I don't know. I don't necessarily think any beverage, well, technically, here's the thing. Technically, any beverage could help with weight loss if you reduce your calories to nothing other than drinking that beverage. So kombucha, because it has good bacteria from the fermentation process, may support gut health. However, I've actually stopped drinking kombucha. In my old house, we had, in our basement, we literally had a factory of kombucha. I was into like such a kombucha phase. We had all these vats producing kombucha. And then I realized I had a discussion with some gut health experts in our space. And I realized it was not only is it caffeinated, which I don't like, but it actually has a greater degree of sugar than I thought. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be drinking this. So I don't really think if you're looking to use something for weight loss, just drink water. Honestly, drink water, use some apple cider vinegar in here. And what that's going to do is that's going to just curb your appetite a little bit. You're going to eat less. You're going to be satiated because you're actually hydrating your body. And yeah, so that's what I think about kombucha. But again, it's up to you if you want to do that. Totally cool. So yeah, so there we go. Alexandros, is 0.8 grams protein per kilogram good if you want to gain muscle? Yeah, totally. It is. So the protein is not so much the issue. It's the caloric intake in general. So if you are, the challenging thing about gaining muscle is that it's a full-time job. You literally have to be training to the point where your muscles can't even lift up a pencil. Okay, you have to really crush your muscles in the gym, and then you just have to eat all the time. So when you're eating that amount, let's say your protein consumption is going to be roughly around 0.8 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, which is a healthy range. Again, if you're building muscle, you don't have to go into the 2 grams per kilogram range. I mean, it's too much. So the key is going to be getting in calories, okay? Calories, and specifically carbohydrates to really fuel those muscles. The protein's going to come as a byproduct of all that as well. All right, so let me have a sip of this good old stuff. Just spilled some down my chin. All right, you guys want to have a look at some dessert recipes from this cookbook? So if you guys are enjoying this, let your friends know, share it with them, press those little icons below the video somewhere. That'd be awesome. We want to help a lot of people. I'm on a mission to help 100 million people by 2040. I can't do that alone. That's why I'm enlisting you guys, enrolling you to spread the message, spread the word that we can make healthy and fit simple again, and obviously delicious without being fanatical about all this. Okay, so this is actually not a dessert. It's a bacon, tomato, zucchini pasta. Bacon, tomato, zucchini pasta. So good. So good. This is one of my Moroccan favorites. This is the chicken apricot tagine with saffron quinoa. Like, this is legitimate gourmet Moroccan meal. Okay, this is stuff that, and again, it doesn't take you half an hour to make. This is like a 15-minute prep and you're done. And, you know, if you're thinking that weight loss food takes the form of chicken and broccoli, well, I'm going to show you otherwise. Okay, let's get to some of the desserts here because that's what we're interested in, I think. All right, so okay. I showed my kids this last night and they're like, oh my God, can we make that? This one here is ridiculous. So this is a salted peanut butter chocolate pudding with coconut whipped cream. This is unbelievably awesome. And this one here is caramelized poached pears, sorry, caramelized peaches with coconut whipped cream. We've got some cocoa chocolate brownies, some just awesome stuff. So you might be asking, like, you know, how can you get away by, you know, with eating that kind of stuff and actually burn fat? Well, in the all-day fat burning diet, I laid out this 5-day food cycling formula, which has, you know, helped thousands and thousands of men and women lose weight, where previously they had tried everything with little success. And one of the days in that 5-day food cycling formula is called a feast day. Now, this is not a eat whatever you want day. Like, it's not a cheat day. It's eat more of good foods day. So a lot of these recipes, like for instance, these desserts, would be feast approved. A little bit higher on the carbohydrate intake, you know, carbohydrate scale. But if you're balancing these out with the right workouts, it's just beautiful. You can have this stuff without feeling guilty about it because you know that your body is, you're not doing this every single day, right? It's, you know, 1 day a week, for instance, on a feast day, and it's allowing your body to kind of just, you know, you're enjoying food. You're not depriving yourself, and it just works beautifully within the 5-day formula that we've developed. Okay, Nikki, what will help with insomnia? Well, it depends on the cause. Depends on the, I mean, there could be a psychological, emotional side of insomnia. Like, is there a lot of stuff on your head? Is there a lot of stuff you're thinking about? If that's the case, journal everything before you go to bed. Just write it out. Do a full-on brain dump. Just write it out. Get it out on paper and just close your book. Then you go to bed. Otherwise, insomnia, I mean, it's tough to say. There's so many different causes. A lot of times, you know, it's not so much nutrition related. It's really about what's happening in your life, what's going on in your head that's keeping you awake. And I would encourage you to really kind of investigate on that a little bit more. And then once you've kind of figured that out, you know, maybe the nutrition side can help out a little bit. But again, if you're eating quality foods, more of your carbohydrates later in the day, you're going to sleep pretty well. Hakeem, what's my opinion about running 5 kilometers a week? It's fine. I don't think that's overdoing it. You know, you don't have to do it all at once. You can break that up. I would actually suggest doing some of that as interval training as opposed to just, you know, 5K. But it's up to you. I mean, I don't think that's an outrageous amount of distance, so that's totally cool. Yeah. Rita, what are some post-operation healing foods that you would suggest to help quickly repair muscle tissue and skin scarring? I've read high protein intake helps, but do you have any suggestions? Yeah, I mean, the protein intake is going to help. You can also look at glutamine. You can supplement specifically with glutamine or branched chain amino acids. Again, I don't know if that's going to make a marked difference. You can maybe look at doing some topical treatments. I'm thinking like aloe vera comes to mind here. What else? If anyone else has any ideas for kind of skin healing, I'm trying to think. Aloe vera. I want to say castor oil, but I don't necessarily know if that's going to help with kind of post-operation scarring. Yeah, so those would be just a couple things you may want to look at, and obviously. Yeah, vitamin E. Yep, vitamin E, very good. Yeah, absolutely. Vitamin E, vitamin C. Vitamin C is a very important component of collagen, which is important. So vitamin E, vitamin C, glutamine, protein, MSM even, right? Methylsulfonylmethane. Very, very powerful for the quality of your tissues. You're welcome. Thank you. There it is. Yeah. Helichrysum oil for topical. Never even heard of that. That's crazy. Wow. Nice. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for chiming in here and sharing your wisdom. It's awesome. There's stuff that you guys, here's the cool thing. You guys know stuff that I don't know. That's awesome, right? I'm not here to pretend that I'm the know-all and be-all when it comes to health. I'm not. So I'm just maybe a couple steps ahead and sharing what I know. But my goal is for each and every one of you to become your own doctor. Like my ideal for the future is that you don't go to the doctor, you are the doctor. You understand how your body works. You understand for the most part how you can kind of remedy stuff. And a lot of that comes from self-education. We're not taught this stuff in school. It's crazy. I've got 3 kids under 6. And, I don't really care too much for the school system. I don't really care if, how they do in school. It's not going to determine their future. As long as they're doing what they love and they're, giving their best, that's all that matters to me. But it's, they're not taught, and I was never taught, and you were probably never taught anything about nutrition or health or fitness when you're growing up, right? Health class was like sex ed and stuff like that, which is, it's important to know. But what if we could teach our kids, here's how your body works. Here's what different foods are. Here are what micronutrients are. Here's how they operate in your body in a very understandable fashion so that as they get older, they have an owner's manual, if you will, for their own body. You have an owner's manual for your car, right? Something breaks, you look at the owner's manual. Do you have an owner's manual for your body? No. What do? You probably go to Google and you get completely overwhelmed and confused. Okay, that's not really serving us. So education is important, but we live in a world we're drowning in information and we're starving for wisdom. So that's why I recommend, whether you're listening to me or somebody else, is stick with 1 or 2 people that you follow and just follow their stuff, as long as it resonates and works for you. Because if you start bouncing all over the place and you're consuming all these different sources of information, one person says this, the other person says the complete opposite. What are you supposed to do? It becomes very confusing and very overwhelming. And that's why my goal is to help you guys understand the fundamental principles of how your body operates. That's why I'll bust out the whiteboard every now and then. We'll do like a couple episodes ago, we talked about insulin, diabetes, and blood sugar. It's important to know that stuff, right? Because when you feel spaced out, you can understand, oh, this is why I'm feeling spaced out. It's because I had that cupcake an hour ago and now my blood sugar is plummeting. Here's what's going to happen next. But if you don't have that understanding, you're always at the mercy of something else. Control is always, somebody else's responsibility. So anyways, that's just my thought about that. Yeah. All right. So let's take another question. We got to wrap up in a few moments. So Zoe teaches her kids to pull oil and many other things. We don't do doctors. Good for you. I don't do doctors either. It's so funny. Like the school's like, which is your family doctor? I should actually put me on that, right? Like we don't have a family doctor. If anything happens, we'll go see a naturopath. But even then, I don't think we've gone to see a naturopath or a doctor in the last couple of years. I mean, it's just, I'm a huge fan of naturopathic doctors. I think they're great. But for the most part, if you can kind of figure things out on your own, not that you have to be a stubborn mule and say, I'm going to do all this myself, but just to the point, if If your kid has a cough, why are you going to take them to the doctor? What is the doctor going to do? I'm going to tell you. They're going to give them a prescription for some type of antibiotic, perhaps. What else is going to go on? What else is the outcome of that meeting? Nothing, right? Sure, if it's an ear infection or something serious, go to the doctor. If you break your leg, go to the doctor, absolutely. But for stuff that you can kind of figure out on your own and hopefully equip yourself with some knowledge and empowerment over time, that's really what's going to serve you in the future. ACV all the way. Thank you, Hakeem. Okay, some people said low-fat milk actually lost most of the vitamins and elements in processed. Fresh milk or full cream better? Are they considered real food? Yes. So in general, low-fat diet, low sugar, low sodium, just avoid all that stuff. Go with the full version. If you're going to drink milk, which I don't recommend, if you're going to drink it, drink the full-fat version. So I was at a bit of a gathering of some of these health experts in our space, many of whom you may know. We were hanging out in a house for a couple of days together, and a lot of these guys and girls are like obsessed with coffee, which is hilarious in my opinion. But the accompaniments to the coffee were 35% whipping cream, and the cream was, organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, all that stuff. And I was saying, this is the only house that I can think of that would actually be okay with putting 35% whipping cream in their morning coffee. And that's because we all pretty much know that full fat is the way to go, right? Fat is not the enemy. It's all the nonsense that's put in to replace the sugar, to replace the fat. So in general, any of the health check symbols, the low fat, low sugar diet stuff, stay away from that. Go with the whole version. If you're having yogurt, get full fat Greek yogurt if it's available instead of the low fat, whatever it is, okay? Processing, homogenization, all of those alterations only make a food less than what it initially is, okay? How do I feel with cereal? Well, unless you're making your own cereal from scratch, like I mentioned the chocolate coconut granola cereal, the chocolate granola cereal that I showed you guys in this book. So this one right here, this is awesome because this is homemade. So we use gluten-free rolled oats, chopped up cacao nibs, and then a variety of nuts. So you can put in hazelnuts, walnuts, chopped almonds, cashews. We'll put in about a quarter of a cup of maple syrup and then about a cup of butter melted. Brings it all together, and then we put that in the oven, let it sit for about 20-25 minutes, and it comes out, and that gives us like a whole batch of cereal for the entire week. I'd much rather do something like that than even the healthy cereals like you find at whatever health food stores. They're loaded with garbage, sugar, cornmeal, soy, all sorts of junk that, like, it doesn't matter if it's Nature's Path, all these supposedly healthy food companies. When it comes to cereals, there's really no healthy one out there that I've ever seen. It's all the same junk. So I would say make it from scratch and just go with that. Olive oil is absolutely okay. You should be drinking, as an Italian, it is your duty to be drinking that by the cup, okay? You should be taking shots of olive oil instead of Sambuca. That's how good olive oil is for you. Is osteoporosis reversible? Okay, this is the last question, and then I gotta go. Okay, Katerina, is osteoporosis reversible without having to rely on heavy medicine? I'm not sure. Osteopenia, which is the beginning of osteoporosis, most likely is reversible. The key with osteoporosis is to prevent it as early as possible, which means in your teenage years. Start doing weight-bearing exercise, stress those bones, okay? Not that you have to be lifting weights at an early age, but stress those bones, body weight exercise, get outside, get some vitamin D. As you get older, especially for women, I keep saying this, you have to be lifting heavy weights. You have to challenge your body. 5-pound dumbbells, nothing in life is 5 pounds. Maybe a book is, right? But that's about it. Challenge your muscles with heavy weights. You're not going to bulk up, but you're going to strengthen your bones and you're going to strengthen your muscles in the process. So is it reversible? I don't know. It may be on a condition by person basis. Never give up hope. But the key is obviously lots of greens, lots of alkaline forming foods, heavy resistance exercise, sunlight for vitamin D, and that's a great starting point. So there we go. All right, guys and ladies, guys and girls, thank you so much. I always enjoy these live hangouts. I'm going to do more of them. I think I'm going to do something special over the next couple of weeks with this. Maybe we'll do some like live cooking shows and so forth, or something along those lines. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll give out a couple free copies and all that fun stuff. So next Wednesday, I will not be doing a live hangout because I'm going to be in Scottsdale at an event. So I'll probably do some live hangouts maybe from my phone on the road. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join me. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with your peeps on Facebook. Hit the share button, hit the like button, share it around. Let's pass it around. Let's get more people involved with this awesomeness. Again, my goal is to empower you. And if you can empower your life, if you can live your life and be the light that others, see like, wow, this is amazing, you become the guiding light, right? And it's all about just paying it forward by living this life, a healthy, simple living. That's what it's all about. So thank you so much, guys. Yuri LKM signing off, and we'll finish off with the fancy outro once again. Trouble losing weight? Need more energy? Want to improve your health? You got a fitness or nutrition question? I probably have an answer for you.